Welcome to FencingBuddies Podcast. I'm Alex, and with me is Sarah. Today we're diving into a fascinating article by Oates, Price, and Bottoms, Physiological Demands of Fencing, a narrative review.
Thanks, Alex. This article caught my attention because it synthesizes so much of what we feel as fencers and coaches, but puts scientific backing to it, especially the long competition days and the impact of our protective gear. It's something we all know, but seeing the numbers is eye-opening.
Absolutely. I mean, we always talk about how tough a competition day is, but the article points out fencers are competing for 9 to 11 hours. And it really highlights the jump in intensity from pool fights to direct elimination rounds. I see that in my youth fencers all the time. They're fine in pools, then suddenly DEs hit, and they look like they've run a marathon.
Exactly. The research shows heart rates hitting 75 to 100% of maximum during DEs, and maximal oxygen consumption around 75%. That's serious cardiovascular strain. It's not just a few explosive movements, it's sustained high intensity, interspersed with brief recovery.
Wait, so when it talks about maximal oxygen consumption, or VO2 max, in plain English, what does that actually mean for a fencer? Like, how does that translate to the strip?
Good question, Alex. In fencing terms, your VO2 max is essentially your engine size. It's the maximum rate at which your body can use oxygen during intense exercise. So, if your VO2 max is high, you can sustain higher intensity efforts for longer, or recover faster between those explosive actions, your lunges, flèches, peri-ripostes. It's the aerobic system kicking in to help you keep going, especially as the fight or the day progresses.
That's interesting. So, it's not just about being fast and explosive for one touch, but having the gas tank to do it again and again, especially in those longer 15-touch DE fights. I've always preached that to my foil fencers, but this really hammers it home. It also mentions phosphocreatine and aerobic energy systems. Can you break that down for how it impacts our training?
Of course. Think of the phosphocreatine system as your immediate super-fast energy for those explosive bursts, the initial lunge, the lightning-fast flèche. It's like a tiny powerful nitro boost, but it depletes very quickly. The aerobic system, on the other hand, is your endurance, your steady furnace. It's what keeps you moving during the preparatory steps, between phrases, and helps you recover your phosphocreatine stores. So for training you need both specific drills for explosive power and speed, but also a strong aerobic base to recover and sustain performance throughout a long competition day.
I've definitely seen that in my athletes. The ones with a better aerobic base can keep up their speed and focus deeper into the tournament. But what about the thermoregulation part? The article mentions fencers' core temperatures hitting over 39 degrees Celsius. And how we often only remove our mask and glove.
That's a huge finding, and it's often overlooked. Our full protective gear, especially the jacket, plastron and mask, creates this incredibly hot microclimate around our bodies. It significantly impedes our ability to dissipate heat through sweat evaporation and convection. The article even notes that wearing the mask can increase temperature around the face and influence thermal sensation, potentially affecting decision-making.
That explains why I feel like my brain is melting by the end of a hot day. And the part about fencers being afraid to cool down too much between fights by taking off their jackets. I hear that all the time. But this article suggests that's actually counterproductive.
Precisely. The research implies that fencers are unlikely to get too cold if they remove their jackets between fights, given the heat already trapped. Instead, proper cooling strategies, whether it's removing more gear, using cooling towels, or just increasing air circulation, could significantly improve performance and mental clarity by bringing those core and skin temperatures down. Heat stress can directly lead to early fatigue and impaired decision-making.
So, it's not just about physical conditioning, but smart recovery and cooling management, especially in DEs when the stakes are higher. The data also showed differences in movement characteristics and work-to-rest ratios between weapons. Épée with longer work periods, saber more explosive.
Yes, that's crucial for weapon-specific training. Épées have work-to-rest ratios of 1 to 1 to 2 to 1, and can work for up to 15 seconds per point. Saber, however, is much more explosive, with ratios around 1 to 5-1 to 6 and work periods as short as 2.5 seconds. This emphasizes tailored training protocols. Saber fencers need more focus on explosive power and rapid recovery, while Oates need a stronger aerobic base to manage those longer phrases and tactical exchanges.
It makes perfect sense. So, for my foil fencers, who are somewhere in the middle with a priority system, it's about balancing that initial explosive attack with the ability to maintain distance and react during those longer, low to moderate intensity preparatory phases. This review really provides a great framework for us coaches to think about how we design our sessions.
Absolutely. The practical applications are clear. Understand these physiological demands to design training that matches competition intensity. Focus on both phosphocreatine for explosiveness and aerobic capacity for endurance and recovery, and critically, integrate smart recovery and cooling strategies, especially given the heat challenges of our gear. Simple measures like heart rate and perceived exertion can even guide us when advanced tech isn't available.
Fantastic insights, Sarah. So, for fencers out there, the key takeaway is that fencing isn't just about quick bursts, it's an endurance sport under pressure. Train your explosiveness, but don't neglect your aerobic engine, and be smart about staying cool during those long competition days.
And remember that understanding your body's demands means you can train smarter, not just harder, to perform your best when it matters most.
Thanks everyone for listening to FencingBuddies Podcast. Until next time, keep your distance and stay sharp.